Welcome to Data Project Hub. In today's video, we will solve a tricky SQL interview question. First, let us go through the question. An e-commerce company track customer interaction with product in the product view table. The task is to identify customers who have viewed the same product for more than 3 consecutive days. Now, we have to write a SQL query to identify customers who have viewed the same product for more than 3 consecutive days. So that is the question that we are trying to solve here. For that, we are already given a table called as product underscore view. Let us go through the table and see what is the basic schema, and then we will start writing query for the same. So here is the table product view, which consists of view ID, which is basically the primary key for that particular table. Now the second column we have is customer ID, then product ID, then view date. From this particular table, we have to identify the customers who have viewed the same product for more than 3 consecutive days with respect to the view date that is given in the product view table. Now I have created the expected output in Excel. Let us take a look at that as well. So the final output will contain the customer ID and corresponding product ID where the customer has viewed the product for more than 3 consecutive days. Now let us compare the input table that we see in SSMS and the expected output. So here is the same input table that we saw in SSMS. Now when we go through the customer ID 101, we can see that customer ID has got 5 records. And these are the product ID that the particular customer has viewed. And this is the view date with respect to each customer ID and product ID combination. Now when we go through the view date, we can see that the customer has viewed product 5001 on 10 to 2099, and the same customer has viewed the same product on the next day, which is 11th, and the same thing happened on 12th, 13th, and on 14th the customer has not viewed the particular product, but instead the customer has viewed the same product again on 15th. But when we go through the record which start with view ID 1 to view ID 4, we can see that the customer 101 has viewed the product ID 5001 for more than 3 consecutive days, that is starting from 10th to 13th. So 4 consecutive days the particular customer has viewed the product 5001. So that is a valid output. So we have the output as 101 and 5001 in the expected output. Similarly, when we go through customer ID 102, we can see that the customer ID 102 has viewed product 6002 multiple times. So when we go through the view date, we can see that the customer has viewed the same product on 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. So 4 consecutive days, customer 102 has viewed the product ID 6002. So that is also a valid output. So we have the output 102 and product ID 6002. And when we go through customer ID 103, we can see that the customer is not viewing the product for more than 3 consecutive days or even 2 consecutive days. The customer has viewed the product 7003 only on 15th and then on 17th. So this is not a valid record. So that will not be part of the expected output. And finally, when we go through the customer ID 104, we can see that this is also a valid output since the customer is viewing 8004 product ID for more than 3 consecutive days. Now we have to write a query to get the output in this format where we have customer ID and product ID where the customer is viewing a particular product for more than 3 consecutive days. Now let us go back to SSMS and see how we can obtain the output. For that, here we are going to make use of a window function, which is the lag window function. So first, we will specify the column name, which we want in the final output. So here we will obtain customer ID. So customer ID will be the first column. Then the second column will be product ID. Then the third column will be view date. Now using the lag window function, we are going to obtain the previous day in the first expression. So for that, we will make use of lag window function, open and close parenthesis. First argument will be the expression on which we are going to apply the lag function. So it will be view date. Second will be offset. Basically it will be 1 here because we want the previous day. And when there is no valid output, we should be filling the column with or row value with null. Now we are going to write the over function, over open and close parenthesis. Now the partition will be based on customer ID and product ID. That is partition by customer ID comma product ID. Now order by clause will be based on view date. That is order by view date in ascending order. Now this will be the previous day. That is previous day 1. That is the first expression. Now similarly, we are going to calculate the day which came 2 days before the current day from the view date column. So for that, we will make use of the lag window function again. Copy the same expression, but the only change that we are going to make here will be, we will change the argument 1 to 2. So here it will be lag of view date, offset will be 2, then partition clause will be same, then order by also will be same, and we will change the column name to previous day 2. Similarly, we have to obtain another expression or another column where we will calculate the day which appears 3 records before the current day from the view date column. So for that, here it will be 3, that is offset will be 3, and previous day column name will be previous day 3. Now when we execute this, when we compare the output or the previous day 1 column, previous day 2 column and previous day 3 column with the view date column, it will be pretty clear. Now execute this and let us see what is the output we are getting. Now we have obtained an output where we have 3 additional columns. The first column is previous day 1, second is previous day 2 and third is previous day 3. Now when we compare the view date with the previous day column, we can see that this is 2099-0205. This is 2099-0213, which basically mean we are getting this record corresponding to previous day 1. And when we compare the view date with the previous day 2, we can see that this record we are getting here, that is 2 days or 2 records preceding to the current day, that is 2099-0212. Similarly, for previous day 3, we can see that we are getting 3 record prior to the current date, that is 2099-0215, and we are getting 3 records preceding to the current row, that is 2099-11, 2099-0211. That is this record. That is the logic we have applied here to get the previous day 1, previous day 2 and previous day 3 from the view date column using lag function. Now we will place this query inside a CTE, that is with T1 as open and close parenthesis, and now we are going to write a query on the CTE that we have created. For that, select star from T1. Now before executing the query and writing the where clause, let us see how we can obtain the output. So now when we compare the view date with previous day 1, previous day 2 and previous day 3, we can easily understand whether the previous day is the preceding day corresponding to the current record. So when we compare 2099-0213 with the previous day 1, we can see that these are 2 consecutive days, that is 12 and 13. Similarly, when we compare previous day 1 with previous day 2, we can see that 11 and 12 are also 2 consecutive days. And when we compare previous day 2 with previous day 3, we can see that 10 and 11 are also 2 consecutive days. So based on that, we are going to write a where clause here, that is where. Let us use another function which is the date diff function, that is date diff open and close parenthesis. First argument will be the interval, that is day. Second argument will be start date. Here the start date for the first condition will be previous day 1. Previous day 1, comma, end date will be view date. View date should be equal to 1. And now we are going to write the second condition based on the date diff function. And let us copy the same expression. Copy, paste it here. Here the first argument will be previous day 2 and second argument will be previous day 1. So we will remove the view date expression, and here the first argument will be previous day 2. And similarly, we are going to write another condition to compare the previous day 2 and previous day 3. So date diff day previous day 1 and view date we will remove. Instead, we are going to write previous day 3, comma, previous day 2. So these are the 3 expressions that we have to write in order to get the record where consecutive days are appearing with respect to view date, previous day 1, previous day 2 and previous day 3. Now execute this. Now we have record for which only the particular condition is satisfied. Now when we go through the expected output, we can see that we only require customer ID and product ID in the final output. So instead of star, we will write the specific column names. That is customer ID, comma, product ID. Execute, and we will get the customer ID and product ID where the customer has viewed a particular product for more than 3 consecutive days. Now if we copy this result and compare it with the expected output, we can see that we have obtained the same expected output. That is 101 5001, 102 6002, 104 and 8004. This is one method to get the output. You can also make use of window functions like raw number, rank to get the same output in a different way. Try that on your own and let me know if you have the solution. The DDL and DML to create the table will be available in the description. You can copy the same from the description and create the table. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more. Thank you.